live. Today, we're talking about protein. People are very confused about protein. We're going to set some things straight. We're going to have fun in the chat box. Let us know, where are you coming from and what type of diabetes are you living with? So I'm coming to you from Bradenton, Florida. I'm living with type 1 diabetes. I've been living with type 1 diabetes since January 26th of 2000. That's over 23 years at this point. I've been following the Mastering Diabetes method for over 17 years. It's transformed my life, and I'm excited to see the method transforming so many other people's lives. It's really exciting. So glad to have you with us. Let us know where you're coming from, what type of diabetes are you living with, and we're going to get started, okay? So we have a book, okay? The book is called Mastering Diabetes, and there's a lot of science in here. If you've read the book, let us know in the comments, right? Have you read the book? What has your experience been with the book? Has it changed your life? What do you think of the book? We'd just love to know. Look at that. We got a Florida friend from Sarasota. That's fantastic. Right down the street. I love that. All right. Louisville, Kentucky, type 2. Welcome. Welcome. Sacramento, California. Welcome. All right. If you've read the book, let us know in the chat box. And we're going to talk about a couple things from here. Kathy Williams from Austin, Texas. Sydney, Australia. We got Belinda, type 1. Welcome. Charlotte, South Carolina. Just bought the book. Fantastic. Glad to hear that, Rebecca. Beth here from Arkansas. Excellent. Reversed insulin resistance. Excellent. Guys, I want to see more and more of that as we continue to see each other here every Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I want to see more people being like, hey, I'm coming back, but like I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I reversed my pre-diabetes. My type 1's in the best control ever. My best A1C ever. My best time in range ever. I also want to see that in the chat box. So let the chat box be the brag box. Okay, for sure. All right. So today we're talking about protein, right? Protein is all the rage. Kathy Williams says type 1, 40 plus years. Excellent. Welcome. Okay. Protein. Everybody is constantly talking about protein. How many of you in the chat box here, you started eating a plant-based diet, you made some adjustments, and somebody asked you, where do you get your protein? Okay. It's really funny how that question happens at almost every juncture of making changes. Somebody goes vegetarian, where do you get your protein? Somebody goes vegan, where do you get your protein? Somebody goes really low fat, plant-based, whole food vegan, where do you get your protein? Somebody decides to eat a fruit-based diet, where do you get your protein? It's the question just keeps on coming back over and over and over again. Now, just think about a few logical things. We're just going to do a couple logical things here. Then I'm going to share an article with you. Then we're going to talk some recipes, and then we're going to go have a great weekend. All right. Think about this. Have you ever met somebody who was diagnosed with a protein deficiency? Do you know that person? Okay. What was the name of the condition that the doctor actually diagnosed them with? Okay. And usually the answer is you don't know anybody who's actually diagnosed with a protein deficiency. This is essentially a non-issue. To actually have a true legitimate medical grade protein deficiency, be kwashiorkor, and that is when there's not enough calories being consumed. Okay. All right. So you have to just think logically about this, how crazy people are about this topic, yet people don't have a disease of protein deficiency. We have a world, like in general, again, logically speaking, as a country, we're overweight. People have excess weight. Yet people are eating these diets, high fat, high protein, in order to solve their problems. When protein deficiency is non-existent and people are overweight. Like the logic it's just not there. It's just not there. If you want all the deep science, 800 references, the whole picture explained in our book here. Now, One, I do want to actually read a specific section here. We're going to talk about this specific section. I'm going to try and answer questions. So any questions you have in general, put them in the chat box. Okay. So, let me know. Okay. All right. So leucine is in this section about what are in animal foods. Okay. That's what's in this section. All right. And then leucine is one of the components. It says meat and dairy products contain high amounts of leucine, an amino acid that activates a high energy biochemical pathway known as mTOR in your beta cells, muscle, liver, adipose tissue, and brain. Okay, so protein is made up of amino acids. So if we're going to walk away from the show learning one key thing, you're going to remember one thing. Protein's a big topic. Like we could write a whole book on that topic. And as a matter of fact, one of our friends has. It's called Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis. But I want you to understand that leucine is an amino acid. Protein is made up, there's a bunch of amino acids, okay? And leucine's a problem. Excess leucine is a problem. People are not talking about this. You may or may not have heard of this, but I want you to know it. And that's something you're going to hopefully make some changes. Okay, wait a minute. When I'm consuming foods and trying to make sure I'm getting enough protein, here's a good reason not to get it from meat and dairy products, okay? Because they're very high in leucine. So frequently eating meat and dairy products can overstimulate the mTOR pathway in these tissues. And when this happens, the tissues enter a prolonged high energy state in which many biochemical pathways go awry. The pathways that go awry include fatty acid accumulation in muscle and liver, chronic liver glucose export. So this is having your liver dumping too much glucose into your bloodstream and causing blood glucose dysfunction. Increased insulin secretion. We don't want excess insulin secretion. We want the appropriate amount of insulin being secreted. Increased beta cell production. We don't want excess beta cells. And eventual beta cell suicide, right? You're overworking your beta cells, you got problems. Leucine promotes more insulin production than any other amino acid. And some scientists believe that increased leucine intake from both meat and dairy products stimulates beta cells to chronically overproduce insulin. Now, to be fair, some plants also have leucine, right? So this is an amino acid that you're going to get from your whole plant foods, but it's in an appropriate amount. It's balanced. Okay, if that's the second thing you're going to remember from today's show is whole foods from nature have a balance beyond our comprehension. Okay, so number one, you're going to walk away from the show saying that excess leucine is a problem. Okay, and number two, nature provides a balance in the proper foods for humans. All right. So per 100 grams of weight, the leucine content between commonly eaten animal and plant foods is dramatically different, suggesting that even modest amounts of animal products can put you at risk for excess leucine intake. 4 ounces of beef contains 3,200 milligrams of leucine, and a quarter cup of Gouda cheese contains 1,600, whereas a cup of corn contains 410, 1 cup of rice contains 430, and 1 cup of potatoes contains 250. Okay, so guys, 2 things today. Excess leucine is a problem. Whole plant foods have nutrients in an incredible balance, which we cannot even comprehend. So with that said, I want to offer you guys a chance to get our foolproof natural recipe guide. All you got to do is in the comments, write the word guide, and we will get this guide to you. The whole purpose of us putting together this guide is so you have examples of recipes that have the perfect amount of protein, the perfect amount of fat, the perfect amount of carbohydrate for reversing insulin resistance. Okay? This guide is so powerful. We've put a lot of work into this guide. It's beautiful, and it's full of whole food recipes that optimize your insulin sensitivity. That's the name of the game. All right. So just write guide in the comments if you want to get this free recipe guide here. And it's a little bit of a challenge, right? We want to challenge you. And a lot of people struggle with eating healthy at dinner time. So a lot of these are designed to be either lunch or dinner meals. And I'm going to nutrition information. Here we go. Let's go back and look at that nutrition information for any one of these. All right. So 17 grams of protein per serving in this recipe, 5 grams of fat, 80 grams of carbohydrate, 405 calories. You're welcome to have more if you want. You could have more calories, but no matter how you spin it, the caloric nutrient ratio is ideal here. Now, if you're commenting guide on YouTube, you're going to have to go and write on Facebook, email us, or DM us. I see a lot of you people on YouTube. All right. Okay. So this is really important here. If you want to reverse insulin resistance, it's incredibly important to reduce your fat intake, and you also want to reduce your protein intake. Excess protein is problematic when it comes to blood glucose and insulin levels. Okay. So as you can see, well, I'm sure Bess will show us a little more of these pictures here, but these are beautiful, delicious, nutritious recipes, and they are designed to keep you satisfied and help you lose weight. Okay. That's also a big part of the game here. All right. If you want to reduce your insulin levels, if you want to reduce your blood glucose levels, a huge part of the process is letting go of excess weight, right? So if you want this guide, you want these recipes, just write the word guide. Renee Ramirez says they work. I love that, Renee. Randy says guide, please. Excellent. All right, wonderful. So these are the foods. Now, there's one other thing I'm going to show you guys, and let's see if I can pull it up real quick. All right. So here we go. I think it's going to be here. All right. So I'm actually going to have this article, and I'm going to get it on the screen. So I'm going to send it in the private chat. So you basically just Google Mastering Diabetes Protein, and an article is going to come up, and it's going to say, how much protein do I need? Okay. All right. So the producer will get this up on the screen here in a second. There we go. Scroll down. Let's go look at the charts that show up here in the beginning. They're going to be right there. Boom. Okay. So many of you have probably seen or been taught this concept of, okay, scroll down a little bit more, right? So this person is trying to teach, if you add protein and fat while you're eating carbohydrate, you can see a more steady blood glucose profile for the next 2 to 3 hours after eating that meal. Okay. That is what these images are showing on the screen. And what I want you to understand is, let's see here. Where am I going to get this graph? Okay. Hold on a second. And which graph is it? Yeah, it's not here. Okay. Well, here's the thing. This is the one, you can keep it on that graph, Bess. So this is the story right here, and maybe even like zoom out on your screen a little bit so maybe both will appear. But this is a misguided. There we go. This is a misguided approach for solving insulin resistance for good. What this whole concept of, you hear people constantly saying, add protein, add fat to stabilize your blood glucose. This is like the standard teachings across the board right now. And what they're showing on the screen is true. And I'm sure many of you had that experience. Like, oh, wow, like I did that. I tested myself with my blood glucose meter, or you use your CGM and you're like, wow, yeah, what they said is true. It worked out. But is your diabetes actually going away? Are you really actually reducing your medications long-term? No, because this is a short-term way of looking at it. What you really want to do is, so let's just say, for example, they have it's a bowl of like cereal and fruit. That's what's being shown here as somebody testing it out, and then they're seeing their blood glucose went up. Like the spike shows it's like a plus 50. So let's say the baseline, somebody was 100, then they ate this bowl. Then in this case, they went up to like 150, and then they came down, and they also saw like a crash. Like they're showing that the blood glucose kept on going down, and they felt low, right? They had like a low blood glucose reading. It's like a reaction. Now, what is being mistaken here is that the very reason that they saw the 50-point blood glucose increase is because of the protein and fat this person has been eating prior. Okay? It is the excess, primarily the excess fat, that has put this person into a state of insulin resistance where they couldn't metabolize the special K bowl. Okay? I will also say that I wouldn't really recommend eating special K as like the glucose challenge here, but let's just set that aside and just carry on with the main point here. All right. So it's excess protein, it's excess fat that has made this person insulin resistant. Adding more protein and fat can help in the short term, but it's exacerbating the problem in the long term. And this specific article actually continues to demonstrate this. So, I mean, if you want us to send you the article, you could just comment the word article and we'll send it to you. I'll have somebody on our team do that. But this is just completely misguided, guys. I mean, now let's see. I'm actually going to pull up another article. So let's go to, let's see, Heather Mastering Diabetes Group Support. Let's see. Can I find this post? Let's see if Google can help me here. Let's see. No, that's okay. All right. Well, I couldn't find. What I want to show you is that I wanted to show you one of our group members who went through our coaching program, how her blood glucose profile is just like flat. I need to put up more of those on our website so it's easier to see. But the bottom line is you can experience this in your own body by getting the guide. You get the guide, eat those recipes, and watch how, as you do this for a couple days, couple weeks, you're going to start seeing your blood glucose profile flatten out. And I also want to say one more thing here. If you, in the short term, when you're insulin resistant, if you want to add something to this recipe, the guide is amazing. And what I'm as Beth shows you this guide here, what I want you to know is that we have strategically included the proper amount of greens and non-starchy vegetables in every meal. So if you're starting out insulin resistant and you want to blunt blood glucose spikes in the beginning, what you really want to focus on adding to each meal is greens and non-starchy vegetables. That's what you want to add, not fat, not protein or like animal protein or high protein, any kind of, it doesn't even matter. Like you don't need to focus on protein. What you need is the greens, which has the nutrient density, the water, the fiber, and is simultaneously helping you stay low fat so you can get rid of the true cause of insulin resistance. Okay? The true cause. So if you guys want this guide, just write the word guide and as a Facebook comment. If you're on YouTube, you have to DM us. Either you have to go to Facebook and write guide. You have to DM us on Instagram, or you have to email us. That's the only way we can get back to you. So this has been fun. I really appreciate your guys' participation today. And I want to let you know, in just about 8 minutes from now, Cyrus, my co-founder, co-author of this book right here, Mastering Diabetes, he's going to be going live on the Amla Green channel. Okay? So Cyrus is going to be talking about, I think he's talking about like social situations in restaurants, but you can ask him any questions you want. We love interacting with you guys. We love seeing you get results. So Amla Green is a really, really powerful, powerful tea that we created. It's a medicinal plant. If you're using Amla, write Amla in the chat box, AMLA. If you don't know about Amla, we'll teach you, we'll educate you. All right. So I just love Amla. I use the hibiscus. I use the hibiscus every single morning. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, anyways, Facebook.com/Amla Green Health. If you just type in Amla, I love Arthelda's using Amla. That's fantastic. Good. It's the most antioxidant rich whole food on the entire planet. Amla. Just powerful, powerful stuff. Okay. So yeah, this has been fun, guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If you want to learn more about protein, we'll get you that article. If you want to learn more about leucine and lowering your blood glucose, pick up the book. We're going to get you the guide if you wrote a guide, and we're just going to keep getting results. That's what I care about. So I'll see you here. I'm live every Wednesday and Friday, 1:00 p.m. Eastern. And I want to continue to see you guys coming back and talking to me about your success. I want to hear more and more stories about your success. Okay. Denise, you need to know more about Amla. Then just type in Amla Green into Google, or make sure to go to this Facebook Live, Amla Green Health, and don't miss out on it. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you.